and works to overturn
sharing of bias.
laws in the court.
What exactly caused this?
To follow the CDC guidelines.
Designed to initially home in on radiation emitted from a target, such as the active
I don't think so. But January, all she does is January. So she's like,
Jesus will meet us right where we are.
Have you seen any other vaccine that was put out for the public that skipped the animal test?
Never before, especially for children.
And as what I've read, they actually started the animal test, and because the animals were dying, they stopped the test. Folks, I think that's important to understand there, that what we're talking about is the American people are now the guinea pigs. This is the test program that's going on. They didn't do the human testing, and they stopped the animal test because the animals were dying. And then they turned it out for the public. And we are now looking at businesses that want to mandate that this experimental vaccine be given to people as a condition of their employment. And yet we have this death count that continues to rise and be totally ignored.
According to several media reports, the Trump administration has selected Gerald Parker as head of the White House Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response Policy.
It was related to geopolitical security and conflict in areas of the world that are important to all of us.
The office itself was created in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, having officially been launched in July of 2023 to oversee the creation of next-gen countermeasures, including treatments and vaccines.
The United States is the world's undisputed leader in foreign assistance. We've invested $500 billion over the past 20 years, 140 of that in global health alone.
Parker was head of Global One Health at Texas A&M University, a wing of the World Health Organization, and was head of the National Science Advisory Board for Biosecurity under the previous Biden administration.
I think the global health equity discussion needs to be reframed a bit. The problem is we need to enlarge the pie. We need to provide 6 billion doses for the world's low and middle income countries. And even if we were to use up all of our mRNA vaccine or the G7 countries for that purpose, it still wouldn't be only a fraction of what's needed. So what we really need to do is to have the United States government start producing more vaccine. And
it is also being reported that Gerald Parker is a, quote, big fan of the pro-vaccine activist Peter Hotez, a man who claimed that a new pandemic is right around the corner for the new Trump administration to deal with. With reports of bird flu picking up steam in the mainstream media since the announcement in June of last year that a new strain had been detected in humans for the very first time, a warning is being issued that Team Trump may be rolling out new mRNA vaccines to combat this. And it's not coming from the usual suspects. Dr. Robert Malone, the virologist credited with initially developing mRNA technology, is claiming that Trump is currently in high-level talks with administration officials about rolling out a bird flu, quote, vaccine. While the selection of Parker as head of the office that Trump suggested he may do away with while on the campaign trail is puzzling, it is more likely that Trump is concerned with safeguarding the economy from an attack before it can even be jump-started. And it should be pointed out that Trump withdrew the United States from the WHO in one of his first acts as president. Still, the attack on our food supply via the threat of a new virus under a president that the mainstream media hates should be enough to give pause and ask if we are once again on the cusp of another mRNA vaccine rollout. And if so, why? This is James Anthony, reporting.
Jesus will meet us right where we are.
Thanks for watching this report. Head on over to jamesanthonyreport.com, click the live link in the description, or scan the QR code on your screen right now to support our sponsors.